A teen, a teen was charged with murder of a 93-year-old grandmother. Teens are getting more deadly and deadlier by the day. Deadlier and deadlier by the day. Now we're gonna see. Was it his grandmother? Oh, God, some people are heartless, and some people might be demons. Their souls might be demons. I don't know, but hey, let's get right into it. It's a crazy world we live in, but we got to keep living it. And we got to keep reviewing the world together. Jesus.
New details tonight at 10. One family says they won't have peace until the teen arrested in the death of a 93-year-old grandmother gets convicted. His arrest took more than a year and a half. Your news leader has been digging deeper into his past tonight.
Well, police will tell you he's been busy, and we found out he's been accused of even more crimes since the death of that grandmother. WREG's Brian Didlake has been following this story and has the very latest. And Brian, what else have you learned?
Well, Greg, Stephanie, the suspect, Darian Taylor, was brought in by U.S. Marshals. But when we looked into Taylor's past, we learned that he had charges from not one state, but two.
I was relieved for my family because there's always the threat with him on the street that there might be some violence against a family member.
For more than a year and a half, Ronald Harris says fear of retaliation was a constant for his family. U.S. Marshals sending out this image of the capture of 18-year-old Darian Taylor. Taylor is accused of killing Harris's mother, 93-year-old Geraldine, and injuring two other family members back in January of last year. At the time of Harris's death, Taylor was 17 and now 18, but since then he has racked up several charges in two states. The first, WRG learned, was out of West Memphis in January of this year, where Taylor and others were arrested for theft after a series of smash and grabs. Fast forward 4 months to May, we saw Taylor end up facing even more charges, theft-related, just days apart. The first incident, Taylor was accused of stealing a firearm from a home prior in April, but was found with that same weapon during the recovery of a stolen vehicle. He posted bond, but less than 5 days later ended up back in trouble after being accused of stealing Mercedes-Benz vehicle parts in a separate stolen vehicle.
Now let me say this. Sounds like he's living that life. He is a criminal. He is a YN. He's already gone down the wrong path. It's as simple as that. Doesn't have good. Well, he could have a good family in his life, but it's going crazy. 16-year-old, and you end up killing a 93-year-old grandmother. Some people are sick. Some people are sick. Some people are demons. Some people got something in their heart. Not much you can say, but it sounds like he needs to be in jail for a long time. Maybe life. Probably life. But let's keep going and finish up this video.
Which had not yet been reported. But Harris says outside of Taylor's troubled past, a more serious concern with the court process.
The police knew, but they couldn't bring the case because the court said, nope, you got to have more evidence. You got to have more evidence. And that took a year and a half.
The family says that's the amount of time it took to get back key DNA and ballistics evidence. The Shelby County District Attorney's Office has been championing faster processing times. Last month, the Shelby County Commission approved $1.5 million that will get the ball rolling on a local crime lab. The commission also okayed 4 additional scientists to work at the state crime lab in Jackson, solely working to help solve Memphis crimes. Right now, evidence is sent to the TBI crime lab in Jackson, which takes more time.
We have to move forward and stay on top of the court system to make sure this case moves forward.
It takes a year to get back DNA? That is crazy. That's crazy.
And now WRG has reached out to both the Shelby County District Attorney's Office as well as Memphis Police to see if there are any updates about the pending crime lab. We'll let you know when we hear back from them. For now, we are live here in downtown Memphis. Brian Didlake for your news leader, WREG, Channel 3.
All right.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, you already know. Let me see, because this is a crazy story. You got to see if there's any more information. So Google's always our friend. Google's our friend now. Good news. Let's see. Anything else? Let's see what it's talking about. So, Yara, let's get right into it. Pull this up a little bit more. Let's get into it. So, let's see. Darian Taylor charged with first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, was taken into custody by the U.S. Marshals. Victim Gredine? Grittum Harris, and I'm not even going to try to say it, was found dead in her home in the Glendale neighborhood of Midtown, January 17, 2024. 2 other female victims had been shot as well and were taken to hospitals with critical injuries. Officers say that the shooting started from a disagreement between a family member and 2 men. Marshall said the investigation led to Taylor, who was 17 at the time of the shooting, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. I was relieved for my family because this has always been a threat on the street. There's some violence against the family members. For more than a year and a half, Harris said she feared retaliation was a constant for her family. At the time of Harris's death, Taylor was 17. He is now 18 years old. WREG found Taylor had past charges from 2 states in January in West Memphis, Arkansas. And then Taylor and others were charged for theft after series of smash and grabs. In May, he had more theft charges just days ago. The first incident Taylor was that he was accused of stealing a firearm, so that was what we talked about before. See, that's crazy. The family said it took a year for it to get DNA ballistic evidence. That is a crazy time. How does it take so long? What is the taxpayers paying for at that point? So they approved that 1.5 commission for a new crime lab. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Now, tell me your thoughts. You think you should get life? What are your thoughts? That is absolutely crazy. All right, everybody. Remember, this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.